Sunday. Last Sunday about this time, I was getting ready to go out to the creek to baptize a little lady that's been told that she doesn't have long to live. She's just a young girl probably in her early 30s. And I got up this morning and I thought about, boy, I sure hope nobody don't want to go get baptized today. If they do, I'm going to find a pool somewhere. Boy, I'm telling you, it was cold, it was tough. But as I was putting that little girl, Brother Jerry and I, we laid her back into that water and brought her up out of that water. All she could say was, I have never felt better in my entire life. She did not say one time how cold that water was. She didn't say one time how she wished she'd have waited and went on to the pool. Or she didn't say nothing. She just said, I have never felt so good in my entire life. And I thought about what our God that we serve. When everybody else is saying, you're going to die when you pneumonia. Or you kill that world woman if you take her. Listen, I'd much rather run to the pool with a whole lot warmer. But you know, Brother Tim, her desire was to go to that creek. She said, I just want to be baptized in the creek. Well, my desire was to fulfill the desire she had. And I thought of how good God really is. Neither one of us come out. Now, that ain't what's wrong with my throat. What's wrong with my throat? I sing too much and shout too much and preach too much. Amen. Didn't have a snotty nose. Didn't have a one cold. Didn't have nothing. You said, well, what's that to talk about? That's how good God really is. That's how wonderful God is. And when we do things for Him, He rewards us by blessing us. David said, go out. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. He's a good God today. David said in Psalm 27, the Lord is my life, my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Let people tell you all they want to tell you. You won't make it. Let them prophesy defeat to you. But I've never read in that book or a Christian ever lost. You said, well, what about Paul? What about him? He's in heaven today. Amen. Didn't tell you he ain't going to die. Didn't tell you he ain't going to face some tribulation. Didn't tell you he ain't going to face some tough time. But I can tell you one thing for sure. God's never left you. He's never forsaken you. He promised you he'd go with you all the way, even to the end of the world. I never wake up thinking that God's going to fail. I sometimes think I'll fail, but I never thought God would fail. I never thought he would be late. I never prayed a prayer that God didn't hear. He would always answer, and I'm glad he didn't answer every one of them. Think about that just a minute. If God, Brother Kenneth, had answered every prayer that you'd ever prayed, you'd be in trouble, you know it. If God had ever answered every prayer that I ever prayed, or Brother Roger ever prayed, and he'd always answer those prayers, I'll tell you, I've been a lot more shape than I am today. But you know what? He hears, but he always answers in his own way. And God knows what we have need of, and he knows what we don't have need of. And God knows where we need to be and where we don't need to be. And God said, I'll make a way where there seemeth to be no way. He's a good God. When I think about Him, I think about David saying, when the wicked, even my enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell. The Lord of hosts shall encamp against me. My heart shall not fear. The Lord shall rise against me. And this will be confident. One thing of desire of the Lord, that will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in His temple. The more you learn about God, the more you'll love God. The more you learn about God, you're going to love God. You know why? Because the more I learn about Him, the more I'm thankful that my mama took me to church. The more I'm thankful, Sister Dean, that I found Jesus Christ at 19 years old, and I gave my heart and life to Him. And since that time, I have dedicated my entire life. Amen, for reaching people with this gospel. I can tell you all the good that I've done, and it wouldn't help you one bit. I can tell you all the good this church might have done. It won't save you. But if I tell you how good God is, it'll cause you to want to love Him. It'll cause you to appreciate Him. Oh, listen, He took my life out to heaven 2005, January the 19th. One of the darkest days ever lived my life. Didn't understand it then. I don't understand it fully now. But the longer that I live, Sister Mara, I understand how God does some of the things that He does. You know, it's not His will that any of us should hang around here and suffer the rest of our life. Listen, all that really is, all that really is the escape door, amen, to get you alive to go. Let it, to begin with. Daddy loved me, but she wouldn't come back to me today if I offered her everything. If I offered her $1 million shopping cart at Walmart, Mary Ellen, she'd say, I ain't coming back, Daddy. I'll just wait for you on the other side. You know why? And believe you me, she used to have a sign one time. She said, I'm going to give you this sign. I said, what is it? She said, read it. And I read it and it said, when I die, I'll bury me at Walmart so my wife will come visit me every day. believe you me, I never put it over front of my car. She wouldn't come back here. You know why? Because heaven is a real place. God made it that way. Now, you know, we talk about a lot of things that God made here. But you're going to read about what he made in heaven. You're going to the end of the book. We read the beginning of the book. Go home today and read the end of the book. Read what he's made for those who love him. Read in the 14th chapter of John where he said he was going to take us. He said, if I go away and come, I will come again. And I will receive you. I might just preach on that a little bit later on. He said, I'm coming after you. And I'm going to take you to a place where there's no more dying, no more sorrow, no more pain, no more heartache. Some of us have never really grasped a hold of how great our God really is. The Muslim faith believes that Muhammad is their God. And they believe this and they believe that. This religion believes that God. But I've got news for you. He's the God of everybody. Whether they accept him or not, he's their God. He made them. They didn't just, nobody else did make them. I know of men that have rose up in the days that we live, such as Jim Jones and David Koresh and different ones. Some of you don't even remember those people, but Jim Jones, I think 30-some years ago, led over 1,000 people to a horrible death, telling he was the Messiah. He was that. They believed that. And David Koresh burned up an inferno in Waco, Texas a few years ago, simply by telling people that he was the Messiah. He was the second coming of David and the Lord and all those things. But yet those men are gone, they perished. But God's still God. And great leaders have came and gone, but God's still God. And people have came and they told this and they told that and they told how this is going to happen. I don't know when the end of the world is going to be. I don't know when the rapture of the church is going to be. I don't know. I'll probably be dead and gone maybe. I don't know. I just really don't know. But I do know this. Wherever I'm at, whether I'm in the grave or whether I'm on this side of the earth, I'm going to be shouting hallelujah. Because I am a child of God this morning. I am a servant of that who's going to carry God. And I'm not worried about what tomorrow brings. I like what Brother Danny Holloway taught this morning in Sunday school. He said, let him come out and tell you that you're going to have a few months to live. Let him tell you that what you have in your body is terminal. And he said, money won't mean nothing to you. Power won't mean nothing to you. All the things that you possess won't mean nothing to you. I've heard that way back yonder. When Daddy said to me one day, Daddy, it just causes you to set your priorities in order. It causes you to want to know that I'm ready to meet God and all the other things are just, they're just added blessings while we're here. Listen to me, friend. He's a good God this morning. He loves you and he hurts when you hurt. And he feels your pain. The Bible says many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivered them out of them all. Listen to what he said. In verse 5 of chapter 27, he said, for in the time of trouble, he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me upon a rock. And now shall mine head be lifted up above mine enemies round about me. Therefore will I offer in his tabernacle sacrifices of joy. I will sing, yea, I will sing praises unto the Lord. I'm going to close. But I want to say this to you before I close today. You'll never serve him till you love him. And when you love him, you'll serve him. When you love him, you won't do anything to hurt him. When you love him like you really ought to, you'll see him so clear. What are you going to do, Brother Danny, if things get hard? That's what I've always done. I'm going to honor God just like he told me to do. I'm going to trust God just like he told me to do. And when he takes me to that pavilion, I'm just going to say, Lord, I'm writing this thing out with you. You're going to make a way. You know, we got it to shape its in. God didn't do it. God don't overspend. God don't underspend. God does everything right. We, you and I, got us where we're at today. And I want to tell you this. My trust is in God. It's not in an economic advisor. It's not in a treasury secretary or one president or another president. I don't know about you, but I've been praying for our president, and I've been praying for our president-elect. I've been asking God to help in men. I've been praying for our congressmen, our governor, our senators, because I know things are tough. And I've been praying for people. I ask God daily to help people on their jobs. We got men in this church today, women in this church, that recently just got the news